Good morning. Suzanne Barron here, founder of Christ the True Light. Reading for Isaiah 7. I've decided to start reading through the Apocrypha as well. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to create a page and then get started on it. I had a comment on one of my videos yesterday that it was, I can't remember what I titled it, but it was about how sin hardened Pharaoh's heart. And I showed my Bible page, my website page called A Changed Bible. It's a parallel Bible that I'm creating. That's the NIV and the WYC. Now, I have not changed the Bible. I just want to tell you what I do is, if you see that video, you'll see NIV on one side, you'll see WYC on the other side. What I do is I go to BibleGateway.com and I type in Exodus 5, for example, and NIV, and I copy and I paste NIV into my website. And then I go to the same book, WYC, on BibleGateway.com, WYC version, and I copy and I paste it onto my website. Now, the WYC, literally every verse is written twice on BibleGateway.com. WYC is written twice. One of them is like Wycliffe's version, and if you scroll all the way down to the bottom of the WYC portion of it on the BibleGateway.com, you'll see some links where you can look at the person. His name is Terrence Terrell. I can't remember his last name. Terrence something. He translated the Bible himself, but he didn't take away from Wycliffe. He's got Wycliffe right there, and then in parentheses, he's got his translation. So there's two of them there. Every single verse has two, and I just erase the Terrence part. I take out out of each verse, I take out the in the parentheses stuff, I delete it, and it's left with just the Wycliffe. And then I take and I'll read each verse, WYC, NIV, and I highlight in red the differences, the alterations, the change. That's all I do. I am not changing the Bible. The title of my page on my website is called A Changed Bible because the Bible has changed. It was changed hundreds of years ago. And when you read Wycliffe, compare it to NIV, which is the most popular one these days, you compare the two, you get a different message. This is an NIV that I am reading from because a Wycliffe version in paper is probably about $80. I can't afford one. Okay, I don't bring in an income for my website. All right, so Isaiah 7. The sign of Emmanuel is what it titled it. When Ahaz, son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, the king of Judah, which is important that I wish I had one, but if I had a parallel of my own, that'd be even better in paper. I've said this, I'm just doing the best that I can because I don't have time to sit down and study these things. I'm already studying other things, but I have got to read through this Bible. I have got to get through it. So when I speak, I am just giving you what I know. And it's not every single verse that I know something. But king of Razin of Aram, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, which I feel anxiety right there. Somebody would pick at me and say, well, you don't have knowledge of the Bible then. Everybody's going to pick at something. Marched up to fight against Jerusalem, but they could not overpower it. Now the house of David was told, Aram has allied itself with Ephraim. Don't know much about Aram, I'm going to tell you right now. But Ephraim, I see a lot in Ephraim. Right here. Ephraim is bad. Now, say I don't have a screen recorder going to do this. Let me get my phone. That would help. Now, I have 11% battery life on my phone, so I'm not sure how far I'm going to be able to get on this. But Ephraim is mentioned in Ezekiel 37 with the prophecy of the robots, okay? It talks about taking two sticks and joining them together. And one of the sticks is in Ephraim's hand. And now this is symbolism, okay? Because by the time Ezekiel's written, that's what I'm saying. Ezekiel was written. Ephraim, which is like Ephraim and Manasseh, this is where this one gets into a really hard Bible study, and I'm not going to be able to say this completely clearly. I just dropped my Bible. And in this clip, this is where it gets hard. Okay. Ephraim and Manasseh, they were Jacob and Joseph, Jacob's son. They were Jacob's son, which makes them Joseph's grandson. Is that right? Or, yeah, that's right. No, they were the sons of Joseph. I'm sorry. And they were Jacob's grandson. Okay. But they took the place of Levi and, who did Ephraim and Manasseh take the place of? Place of Joseph. They're listed among the 12, okay? Joseph, obviously, their son, but also Levi. Now, where am I at? Because I lost my spot. Ephraim, talk about a Levitical stick. Not Abraham. I'm messing up all over the place. Aaron and Moses, they were Levites, okay? And their stick, their rod, okay? Aaron, I've had Christians debate me on this one, that Moses and Aaron had two separate rods. No, they didn't, because it was clear that Aaron had the rod. Okay, Aaron's the one to perform the miracles. I'll speak to you, Moses, and you'll be like God, Aaron. You'll tell Aaron the things to do. I'm going to tell you what to tell Aaron to do. And Aaron, he had the rod. He went into Egypt with the rod. He had the rod. But it's not two rods. It's the same rod, because before Aaron ever even comes into the picture, God tells Moses to take that rod that turned into the snake. I want you to take that rod into Egypt with you. So I don't have these verses, okay, but they're there. Take that rod into Egypt with you before Aaron even comes along. And so we don't see the transfer. We don't see Moses give Aaron a rod, but you can assume that he's following instructions. Take that rod that turned into the snake. Now, these rods, there were like 12 of them. They were like to follow a lineage, okay? And then they had like a totem pole that had markings on it. All right, well, Aaron's rod, which is also Moses' rod, Levitical stick, because they were both Levites. That stick is what budded to show the favoritism to Levites. There are verses that say the Levites could touch the ark. If you weren't a Levite, you couldn't touch the ark. There are verses that say that the Levites would be the ones to minister to the Lord forever. Levites are very important. Jesus was a Levite through Mary. I have to say all these extra things, extra words here. Jesus was a Levite. You've never heard anyone say that. Mary was cousin to Elizabeth. Elizabeth and Zechariah, that kept the law perfectly. If you were a priest, Zechariah was a priest. Elizabeth's dad kept the law perfectly. She was a Levitical priest. He was a Levitical priest. Now, that meant that because he was a Levitical priest, he could only marry within his tribe, which meant he married a Levite, and she had to be a virgin. Perfect law. So clearly, perfect law. He kept the law perfectly. Elizabeth's dad's mom was a Levite. So both of her parents were Levites. Zechariah was a Levite, which has got nothing to do with the bloodline I'm talking about, but still doesn't matter. He was a Levite because he was a priest. All right. And then he married Elizabeth, who was a Levite. Now, how could Mary from the tribe of Judah, the lineage of David, how could she be related and be cousins to Elizabeth, who was a full-blooded Levite? How could that be possible? Mary's dad was from the tribe of Judah. How could that be possible? The tribe of Judah didn't have that law. You can marry whoever you wanted. So clearly he married a Levite. Mary's mom would have been a Levite. That's the only way she could have been cousins to Elizabeth. That makes Jesus a Levite. Minister to the Lord forever. There's no arguing that. Where am I at? He's Ephraim. It's cold. I shouldn't have been outside. Spilling my coffee. Getting excited. I'm sorry. Let me calm it down a notch. I say this. I have the inability to stay calm sometimes. It's on my phone. I wanted to do it. Ephraim's bad, right? Okay, that's what it was. All right, so I need to go to Hosea, Bible Gateway, BibleGateway.com. All right, Hosea 12, 7 through 9. All right, I'm going to read you the NIV version from my Bible. Hosea 12, 7 through 9. It says, the merchant uses dishonest scales and loves to defraud. Merchant. When you think about the word merchant, you're thinking about money, all right? Loves to defraud, all right? Ephraim boast. This is Ephraim, okay? I am very rich. I have become wealthy. In all of my wealth, they will not find in me any iniquity of sin. And then verse 9 says this. So basically saying, I am wealthy, and all of my wealth, I am relying on my wealth. With all my wealth, they will not find in me any iniquity of sin. Okay? Then verse 9 says this. I have been the Lord your God ever since, reading it slow on purpose, I have been the Lord your God, Ephraim, ever since you came out of Egypt. Ever since. This implies that I am the God that sent Moses in there to pull you out. Ever since you came out of Egypt. That's what this implies. I gotta clip this in because I missed it. What am I gonna say? What did Jesus say? He said, you cannot love both God or money. Okay, now he's not saying God or God. He's saying God or money. All right, so money is like its own God. Money is a God, is it not? What's on that dollar bill, that Egyptian pyramid? Okay, you cannot love both God or money. Out of Egypt I've called my son. That money is Egyptian. Egyptian. Who does Ephraim love? What is he relying on? He's relying on wealth. He's relying on money. Who is his God? His God is money. That Egyptian pyramid, the Egyptian God. Wycliffe version. Here's your changed Bible, and it's not me that did it. Hosea 12, 7 through 9. Read Ezekiel 37 with the stick in Ephraim's hand. Now, who is Ephraim's God? This is very important. I'm going to get Wycliffe up real quick. See, I got a Bible Gateway. They got a long list of versions. Okay, way down at the bottom, you'll see WYC. Where's it at? Pop up ad, go away. Hang on. Where's it at? WYC is the second to last. WYC, the Wycliffe Bible. First English translation. Wycliffe. This one doesn't have the two versions in it, but it says, and I that am the Lord thy God from the land of Egypt. I am thy Lord God from the land of Egypt. I am your God, Ephraim. I'm the God from the land of Egypt. I am the Egyptians' God. So, give me a second again. I'm sorry. I got to go get a sweater since I'm going to sit out here. Okay, back to verse 2. Isaiah 7, verse 2. Now the house of David was told, Aram has allied itself against Ephraim. So the hearts of Ahaz and his people were shaken, as the trees of the forest are shaken by the wind. I'll hold off on that one. Then the Lord said to Isaiah, go out, you and your son, Shear-Jashub, to meet Ahaz at the end of the aqueduct of the upper pool on the road to the launderer's field. Say to him, be careful, keep calm, and don't be afraid. Say to Ahaz, all right, don't be afraid. Do not lose heart because of these 2 smoldering stubs of firewood. Because of the fierce anger of Rezin and Aram, and the son of Remaliah, Aram, Ephraim, and Remaliah's son have plotted your ruin, saying, let us invade Judah. Now, Judah, right, tribe of Judah, Jesus came from the tribe of Judah. Let us tear it apart and divide it among ourselves and make the son of Tebel king over it. Yet this is the tribe of Judah. Let us invade Judah. Just hold these thoughts. This is what the sovereign Lord says. It will not take place, it will not happen, for the head of Aram is Damascus. I can't read. The head of Aram is Damascus, and the head of Damascus is only Rezin. Within 65 years, Ephraim will be too scattered to be a people. Poetic, probably not going to do that great on it today, but the head of Ephraim is Samaria. The head of Samaria is only Remaliah's son. If you do not stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all. Stand firm. I'm standing pretty firm, just making a point. Again, the Lord spoke to Ahaz. What does that mean? That means even though people are not really supporting me right now, the stronger I stand, the longer I stand in strong faith and continue on, I am reaching people. My numbers are smaller than I would expect them to be, but I am reaching people. And I know this. The problem is, I get so many comments. I get so many people hitting the like button. Here's my problem. This is very important. I need to stress this. I get so frustrated with this one. Okay? If you read my stuff, if you watch my stuff and you see it, and you see it, I've had 2 videos that are doing really good out right now. 2 videos are doing really great. People keep hitting that share button on that one. So if you shared those 2 videos, the Nikki Gracious and the introduction of my ministry, those 2 videos, if you've shared those 2 videos, I appreciate you, because those 2 are actually going. But I got a lot of other stuff that's not going. But I got likes, I get comments, I get people saying, hey, thank you for, this guy on LinkedIn said he was impressed by my thought-provoking views on modern society stuff. That I don't even know how he said it, but I'll tell you how he said it. Tell you exactly how he said it. He said, this was on LinkedIn. He said, thank you for sharing your unique perspective on the intersection of mental health, biblical prophecy, and AI. Your insights are thought-provoking and offer a fresh outlook on these important topics. That was on, I sent a picture of it to somebody, but that was on LinkedIn. Problem is that post got 0 shares. I got that comment, I got no shares. 1 share, I can reach 100 people. He liked it, he appreciated it, but he did not share it. That's why I'm not reaching people how I need to reach people. You'll see a video and you'll see somebody else's article and you'll share that. You won't share mine. I'm not saying this in like a, I don't even know what the word is. I just know my message is so important. I know it's important. I am begging, okay? I literally am begging you to share my stuff. Please share it. I don't remember where I'm at. Okay, yes, I do. Again, the Lord spoke, this is verse 10, spoke to Ahaz, ask the Lord your God for a sign, whether in the deepest depths or in the highest heights. Ask, but Ahaz said, I will not ask. I will not put the Lord to the test. Then Isaiah said, hear now, you house of David. Is it not enough to try the patience of humans? Will you try the patience of my God also? That could be speaking to me right there. Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. A virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel. I'm going to skip on that right now because I do have a thought to do a blog on this, but it's too in depth and I would need a lot to confirm and back me up. So I'm not going to speak on this one right now. He will be eating curds and honey and will know enough to reject the wrong and choose the right way. All right. I do want to speak on that though. Okay, so he will be eating curds and honey. He will know enough to reject the wrong and choose the right way. Choose the right. He will know enough to reject it. So this implies that he has a choice. He has a choice to choose between right and wrong. I want you to think about Jesus. God. Would God choose wrong? He when he knows enough, I read that wrong, but just pay attention. When he knows enough to reject the wrong and choose the right, choose. For before the boy knows enough to reject the wrong and choose the right, the land of two kings you will dread will be laid waste. Two kings you dread will be laid waste. So, still saying he has a choice. The Lord will bring on you and your people. I mean, it says it. Let me pull Wycliffe. Wycliffe says, "You shall eat butter and honey." My coffee's already cold. "He shall eat butter and honey, that he know how to reprove evil and choose good." So still choose. For why, before the child know how to reprove evil and choose good, the land which thou loathe shall be forsaken in the face of their two kings. He shall eat butter, and he shall know how to rebuke or to reject evil and choose good. So he still says choose. You still have a choice. This one does say that he know how to. So you see what I'm saying? There's a little bit of alteration. I gotta pull Strong's. Probably should have even gone there. That he know how. Could be just like he knows the information. I'm just making a point, alright? Where am I at? The Lord will bring on you, this is verse 17, and on your people, and on the house of your father, a time unlike any since Ephraim broke away from Judah. So Judah, that's verse 17. Days that come not from the days of the departing of Ephraim and Judah. So same thing, departing, alright? From Judah. Opposition of Judah. Jesus came from Judah. Ephraim's God was the false god from the land of Egypt. The very first verse of the entire Bible says, in the beginning God created. That word Elohim is a plural God. This is the viper. The the um the God from Egypt is the viper that Jesus called out. You don't know my father. You're doing the works of your father. In that day the Lord will whistle for flies from the Nile, the delta in Egypt, and for beasts from the land of Assyria. They will all come and settle in the steep ravines and in the crevices in the rocks, on all the thorn bushes, and on all the water holes, thorn bushes. So he's going to call for something. It's going to settle in the steep and in the crevices in the rocks. So it's going to settle on thorn bushes, basically. All right. Thorn bushes, that's sin. So what God is doing is going to oppose that thorn bush, sin. That's the best way I can say that. Poetic language, right? And that day the Lord will use a razor hired from beyond the Euphrates River, the king of Assyria, to shave the head and private parts, and to cut off your beard also. And that day a person will keep alive a young cow and two goats. And because of the abundance of the milk they give, there will be curds to eat. All who remain in the land will eat curds and honey. And that day, in every place where there were 1,000 vines worth 1,000 silver shekels, there will be only briars and thorns. So, what was good? Where there were 1,000 vines worth 1,000 silvers, so it was good. A good vine was worth a lot of money. There will only be briars and thorns. So it's no longer good, it's bad. Hunters will go there and bow with bow and arrow for the land will be covered with briars and thorns. As for all the hills once cultivated by the hoe, you will no longer go there for fear of the briars and thorns. Fear of them. They will become places where cattle are turned loose and where sheep run. That's Isaiah 7 for today. All right. Please follow, share, stick with me. Please, the message will eventually piece together if you're just not watching. But clearly there's a changed Bible, and there is a message that I have got to deliver. And um, it just stopped on me. There's a message that I have to deliver. The Bible has changed. NIV, WYC, you get two totally different messages. You get two very different messages. Thank you. Please share. Thank you.